Welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to be talking more about the 88 Mustang GT, aka the Red Demon, and the setup we're doing on the back. As you can see, I've already got the front together. We'll go over that another day because we had a little bit of change of plans on the brake setup. So we're going to go over that another day. And we got our cast and camera plates back. We sent those out and had them powder coated. It was only $10 a piece, and had those powder coated, and they turned out to look really good. But we'll go over that when we get ready to do the brakes. We're waiting on a few more pieces to come in for the brakes. But today we're going to be talking about the back of the car and what I'm using and the setup that I'm using. And I'm going to sit you guys down and we're going to go over that right now. Okay, here we go. All right, as you can see at the beginning of the video, that's a 2002 V6 rear end. I bought that from a friend of mine that owns a junkyard, Lynn Automotive, pays in South Carolina. If you need any parts, hit him up, eBay, it don't matter. But I got the rear end from him, and I took everything off of it that I wanted, and the rest of it's just gonna go to the scrap yard. But as you can see, I took a slice out of it, and you want to take this slice out of it in order to be able to fit it over the tube of the rear end on the Fox body. And you're also going to be running the right side on the left and the left side on the right. Now the piece that we cut off of it, I could weld it back on, on the car, but I'm not going to do that. I want to be able to take this on and off whenever I need to or want to. We already have new bearings and seals in the axle, or the rear end I should say. Now the hydraulic hoses we're running are 94 to 98 hydraulic hoses. I got looking at the 99 to 04s, and I believe they were just going to be too long unless I fabricated my own lines. I could have made them work, but I was just wanting to buy everything already ready to go. So we got those, the left and the right, and we got those at Rockauto, and they were just a couple bucks. That's the part numbers on them. Hope you can see. But that's the left and right, and they come with the washers. Now we have that. Now the 79 to, I think it goes all the way up to 04. They actually run the same hydraulic hose that goes on the top of the rear end that splits it off to your left and your right. So I gotta say, I just bought this Rockauto also. Come with the washers and a banjo bolt. All that's new. And the reason why I went ahead and just got that one and figured I'd replace it because it was only a couple bucks, and got me to do some thinking on the hard lines. I was going to get some hard lines from LMR, but they were sold out. So I did a little bit of thinking, and I was like, well, if I'm using the 94 to 98 hydraulic hoses and the splitter on the top of the rear end is the same, why can't I just run a set of hard lines for 94 to 98? That way I know my AM fittings will be the same. So that's what I did. I ordered a set on eBay. I think I give 30 something bucks. They were just $35 or so, and they're steel hard lines. You can get the stainless for about 10 bucks more. I just got the steel. My car hardly ever sees outside anyway. But like I said, got those on eBay, and that was the manufacturer, the seller. Now, since the wife and the kids didn't get a chance to get me those for Father's Day because I kind of jumped the gun and had these ordered the week before, because I noticed that LMR was sold out of theirs, and that's exactly the same thing. I ended up having them to get me this for Father's Day. So we got the proportion valve adjuster, or the adjuster to put on the front of the car. And right now we're going to go back to the back of the car and start putting these plates and some of this hardware on, and I'm gonna show you the axles that I'm running. All right, I already got the top piece on, the little pie that I cut out. Now we're gonna slide the bracket on, and it just goes right up there, just like that, right over the axle tube. We'll slide our bolts in. I just went ahead and put the bolts in from the front to the back. I don't believe it really matters which way you want to put them in. You put them in ever how you want to put them. I saw this on, I got the idea from the pictures of a rear end a guy did. I think it was on one of the Mustang forums, and he did his this way. I figured I would try it, save some money to keep from having to buy the aftermarket brackets. Because I did buy the rear end, and for what I pay for the rear end, that's what a set of brackets will cost. So why not use the ones I got? And I've done mocked everything up, so I know everything fits, so I'm not worried about that. As far as clearance, and we got our bracket on. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and install our anti-moan bracket. I had to cut a little bit off of this end here so it wouldn't hit there. You just want to slide your U-bolt up inside of this bracket right here that used to hold the quad shock on, and then you want to get ready to just slide your anti-moan bracket on, and we're just going to kind of leave this loose for right now until we actually get the caliper bracket on, because the caliper bracket bolt slides right through that. So we're just going to kind of just hand tighten them for right now until we get it all together. Alright, now we're going to stick our 94 to 98 hydraulic hose on, and when I initially put it up there and marked my spots where I wanted to drill my holes, I also drilled a hole for this to fit into. You can flatten that out with a hammer or cut it off. I just opted to drill a hole for it. Just follow the contours of the thing on the rear end of the bracket there, and just drill it out, then come back in with a self-tapping screw and run it in. So that's our hydraulic line. Okay, we already have our hard line installed, so we're going to go ahead and slide our hard line into the hydraulic line. The hard lines are, the package said 94, 95. I wouldn't think that they would change between the 96 to 98, but it's a possibility. But I ordered the ones for 94, and like I said, they wasn't very expensive at all. It was only $30 something dollars for these hard lines on eBay. All right, there we go. Now we'll just tighten it up with a line wrench. And there we go. Got a hydraulic hose on. Next thing we can do is go ahead and install our dust shield. And we got these on eBay. Bought two from the seller. I can't remember exactly what the price was. They were in between $30 to $40. But as you can see, everything fits good. No issues whatsoever. We will go over the axles here in a second. Let me get this tightened up real quick. You have to be careful, these things are super sharp. I know from experience. So we got our anti-moan brackets. We got our 94 to 98 hydraulic hose on. We got our, I'm just gonna say 94 to 98 hard line. We have our upper splitter already installed on the car for the brake lines on the rear end. We've already done the passenger side, so it's done. All right, let me grab the axle. We are running the Fox body length, 28 spline, Mosier axles. And we got these axles from LMR. They were about, I think, $10 more than the Yukon. I believe that's the other brand that they sell. And I know Mosier is a proven company, so that's why I went with the Mosier axles. And there you go. All the parts that I showed you today is now on the car. We have the good old $100 set of SVE control arms. We have brand new Prothane bushings in the upper of the rear end. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's the new splitter. It's been installed. And all the hard lines are in now. So that's pretty much it right there, guys. That's part of my budget 5-lug conversion on my Fox body. And most of these parts I got off of the rear end, and some parts I had to order. Like I said, some parts that we splurged on and went ahead and spent the money and got the good quality stuff like the axles. Some stuff just budget, like the struts and shocks and stuff like that. We can always upgrade that stuff later on, but for right now that'll work just fine, so we can get the car on the ground and get it rolling again. So that's all I got for you today, guys. The next time you come back, we'll be putting the calipers on the front of the car, waiting for a few more components to come in on that, and then we'll get that in, we'll get those on the car. But until then, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and click on that notification bell.